Chosen one. You got people wondering where you were and trying to figure out your next move. They're restless, scrolling through your old posts, replaying memories, and checking if you've resurfaced, because deep down, they know you're getting your money up and leveling beyond their reach. You didn't vanish out of fear. You vanished to rebuild in peace, and while they're burning energy watching, you're stacking blessings they'll never see coming. What they call your absence is really your ascension, and when you reappear, the glow-up will speak louder than any explanation ever could. There's someone specific we need to talk about. You know exactly who this is, because the energy is all over this. That person who always needed you more than anyone else. That connection who somehow made every situation revolve around themselves. When you look back now with clear vision, you see the pattern. Every time you were about to level up, a crisis emerged. Every single time. Every time you were glowing, something would happen to dim you. Every time you were about to move forward, an anchor held you in place. Here's the part that shifts your entire perspective. The awareness was there all along. Playing innocent comes easy. Acting confused is second nature. Pretending to have no idea becomes the default response. But that's the game. This person benefited from your energy in ways that go far beyond what you could see on the surface. Sure, maybe you gave advice, helped financially, opened doors, but the real harvest was spiritual. When proximity existed, life worked better for them. Doors opened that should have stayed closed, problems solved themselves, opportunities appeared out of nowhere. The addiction to that feeling ran deep. The cost to you never mattered. You started seeing signs, the way energy shifted when you talked about your dreams, the weird vibe when good things happened to you, the comments that seemed supportive but left you feeling small. You made excuses because that's what you do. You see the best in people even when the worst is being shown. But something changed recently. Maybe one conversation went too far. Maybe you finally saw a pattern you couldn't ignore. Maybe God literally intervened and opened your eyes. Whatever happened, you saw the truth. This person wasn't just draining you emotionally. The feeding was spiritual. No intention of stopping existed. That's when you made the move that changed everything. You did something that shocked everyone. You pulled back. No explanation. No warning. No second chances. You just moved differently. Some of you went completely ghost. Everything deleted. Numbers changed. Cities switched without telling a soul. Others just stopped being available. Stopped answering every call. Stopped showing up to every demand. And people lost their absolute minds. The cold label got thrown around. Claims of change echoed. Accusations of superiority flew. Good, let those thoughts exist. Because while complaints about your absence continue, you're building an empire beyond imagination. The moment you created that distance, something powerful happened. You felt it immediately, like someone lifted a boulder off your chest that you'd been carrying for years. You could breathe deeper, think clearer. Your creativity exploded. Your energy came back stronger than ever. Ideas started flowing. Opportunities started appearing. Money started moving differently. Everything shifted because you finally stopped letting people drain what you were supposed to be using to build. But then the strange stuff started happening. This is where it gets interesting. Anxiety at night, dreams about these people, random thoughts appearing out of nowhere. You wondered if you made a mistake. Maybe too harsh. Maybe another chance was deserved. Stop right there. What you're feeling isn't guilt. This is energy trying to reattach itself to you like a parasite looking for a host. When someone feeds off your light for extended periods, peaceful acceptance of separation doesn't happen. Spirit panics. Soul reaches out desperately. Because you're empathetic, because you're sensitive, because you're powerful enough to feel energy across any distance, you feel it all. You feel the thoughts about you. You feel the missing of what you provided. You feel the scheming about getting back in. Some of what's happening is going to shock you. The thoughts about you aren't casual. Obsession runs deep. Some are paying actual money for readings about you. Spiritual means are being used to access information about your life. Fake accounts got created to watch your every move. Mutual friends get asked about you with forced casualness. Or have you heard from them? Just wondering how things are going. Meanwhile, desperate attempts to piece together your location and activities continue. Some are even showing up at places where running into you might happen, hoping for coincidence. But coincidence isn't the motive. Obsession is. This proves everything you suspected was absolutely right. While obsessing over your whereabouts continues, you've been building something beyond comprehension, working in silence, making moves nobody sees, learning things nobody knows you're learning, connecting with people nobody knows you're connecting with, stacking money nobody knows you're stacking, operating in complete stealth mode. When you finally emerge, the transformation is going to be so complete, so total, so undeniable, that your energy won't even be recognizable anymore. You're not the same person who walked away. You're the upgraded version access will never be granted to again. This reality is going to be devastating. The universe didn't remove these people to punish you. Removal happened to protect your assignment. What you're about to build requires your full energy, your complete focus, your total power. Certain people, no matter how much love existed, would have stopped it from happening. Not because pure evil exists in them, but because they're not built for where you're going. The vision isn't there. The discipline doesn't exist. The spiritual capacity to operate at the level you're about to reach can't be accessed. So God cut them off, not to hurt you, to position you. What's about to happen next is going to prove that was the right move. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. That person who controlled so much of your time and energy is struggling hard. Projects falling apart, relationships imploding, money getting tight, life feels heavy. The reason can't be figured out. Bad luck seems like the answer. The economy gets blamed. Everyone else's fault becomes the explanation. But you know the truth. Access to you was lost. With that access went spiritual protection never known to exist. When connection exists with someone anointed, someone chosen, someone operating with divine favor, benefit from that covering happens even when toxicity is present, even when selfishness dominates, even when active harm is being done. Protection by proximity to light exists. But the moment that connection breaks, reality crashes in. Karma that was being held back comes flooding through like a dam breaking. Drowning is happening right now. Your patterns were known. You got studied like a textbook. When you post became predictable. Where you go was mapped out. Who you talk to got monitored. Your entire routine lived in someone's head. That's why your disappearance hit so hard. You broke the pattern. You disrupted the sense of control. Control is what got craved more than anything. Not love, not genuine connection. Control, the ability to predict you, the ability to access you, the ability to influence your decisions. When you vanished, you took that away. You took the illusion of power over you and shattered it into a million pieces. Now scrambling happens, checking old haunts, asking careful questions, pretending concern, when really intelligence gathering is the goal. Some have even reached out to people you barely know, fishing for information about your whereabouts. That's not concern, that's surveillance. That's someone who can't handle the fact that you're operating outside awareness. The more time passes without answers, the more desperate it becomes. The more desperate it becomes, the more true nature gets revealed. Pay attention to who's asking about you. Pay attention to how the asking happens. You're learning exactly who was genuine and who was just monitoring you. Something else is happening that you need to know about. People in your old circles are talking about you right now, creating narratives, building stories, trying to explain your absence in ways that make sense to them. Some say you got too busy. Others claim superiority complex has taken over. A few spread rumors that something bad happened. None of them have the real story. None of them understand what's actually happening. That's perfect, because your life is no longer a community discussion. Your moves are no longer public information. Your journey is no longer open for commentary. You've gone private, not because hiding is happening, but because operating at a level where silence is strategic. The ones making up stories are revealing themselves too. Who needs to create drama to feel relevant gets shown. Who needs your name in conversation to have something to talk about becomes obvious. Who can't just let you be and respect your space gets exposed. These are the same people who would have sabotaged your next level if accessibility had stayed. The same people who would have found problems with every opportunity you received. The same people who would have questioned every decision you made. God removed them before that damage could happen, before seeds of doubt could get planted, before infection of your vision with limitations could occur. But while falling apart happens for some, you're falling into alignment. Everything being lost by others is being gained by you. Opportunities you didn't chase are appearing. Money from unexpected sources is coming. The right people are showing up at exactly the right moment, with exactly what you need. It's like the universe waited for you to clear out the trash before delivering the treasure. That's exactly what happened. You made space. God filled it with what you actually deserve, not what you settled for when worth wasn't known. What you deserve now that value is understood. The difference is going to be staggering. Some of you are about to experience a complete financial transformation. Soon, not because some secret got found, not because luck struck, but because you stopped letting energy vampires drain your creative power. You stopped giving your wisdom away for free to people who didn't value it. You stopped letting people benefit from your gifts while giving you nothing in return. You recognized your value and started protecting it like the precious resource it is. The moment you did that, everything changed. The universe matched your energy. Now you're getting paid what you're worth, charging what you should charge, saying no to anything beneath your standards. A cascade of abundance is about to blow your mind. The two are directly connected. Every hour you spent entertaining dead-end connections was an hour you weren't spending building. Every conversation explaining yourself to people who didn't want to understand was energy you weren't investing in your vision. Every time you showed up for someone who wouldn't show up for you, you were stealing from your own future. The moment you cut that off and redirected all that energy toward yourself, toward your goals, toward your purpose, the floodgates opened, because you finally became the priority in your own life. People are watching your social media, wondering why posting your every move stopped. Secrecy seems to be the conclusion. Something is being hidden feels like the truth. Being right is what's happening. You're hiding your strategy. You're protecting your plans. You're keeping your next moves close to your chest because you learned something powerful. Announcement energy kills momentum. Talking about what you're going to do satisfies the same part of your brain as actually doing it. So you stopped talking. You stopped posting. You stopped giving people previews of what you're building. Now you're just building in silence. When you're ready, when completion arrives, when the timing is perfect, you're going to reveal something that leaves everyone speechless. What's really bothering them is figuring out your income situation proves impossible. Expectation of struggle without them existed. Thought you needed connections. Assumption that crawling back would happen when money got tight. Instead, thriving is occurring. Better than ever is the reality. How this happened can't be computed. Some are even asking mutual friends if a new job started, if a business launched, if someone's taking care of you. Acceptance that you simply leveled up can't happen. That better opportunities got found. That abundance got attracted because space was made for it. Egos can't handle the fact that you're fine without them. Better than fine. Flourishing. This person keeps rehearsing what would get said if running into you happened. The conversation has been practiced 100 times. Casual, friendly, like nothing happened. But underneath that rehearsed casualness is pure desperation, wanting to know if any chance exists, any possibility, any opening to get back into your world. The answer is already written in your energy. No, going back can't happen. Not to that dynamic. Not to that version of the connection. Not to who you were when tolerating less than deserved. That bridge isn't just burned. Demolition happened. The foundation is gone. You're building something completely new on different ground with different materials and different people. Pay attention because this is the part that shifts everything. You're coming out of this hermit season stronger than you've ever been. The work done in private is about to manifest publicly. The seeds planted in secret are about to produce fruit everyone will see. The investments made in yourself are about to pay dividends that shock people. The same people wondering where you went are about to wonder how you did it. The formula is going to be wanted. The blueprint is going to be requested. Access is going to be desired again. You're going to smile and keep moving, because you learned something powerful during this time alone. Some wisdom isn't for sale. Some access must be earned. Most people will never qualify for either. Your energy is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your presence is valuable. Your wisdom is valuable. Treating it that way is finally happening. Operating like royalty is the new standard. Setting standards that reflect your true worth instead of accepting whatever people felt like offering is the new reality. This is making people uncomfortable. When you know your worth, lowballing can't happen anymore. Guilting into less becomes impossible. Manipulating into giving more than you receive won't work. Coming correct or not coming at all is the only option. Most people aren't ready for that level of integrity. Most people aren't built for that level of standards. So complaining will happen. Claims of change will echo. Arrogance will get thrown around. Let it. While crying about your standards continues, you're attracting people who meet them effortlessly. The shift you're experiencing isn't just growth. Complete transformation is occurring. You're shedding old versions of yourself like dead skin, versions that tolerated disrespect, versions that accepted crumbs and called it a meal, versions that dimmed light so others could feel comfortable in darkness. Those versions are dead, buried, never coming back. Anyone who knew those versions is going to struggle with who you're becoming. That's expected. That's part of the process. Not everyone is meant to witness every version of you. Some people were only meant for a season, for a specific reason, and that season is over. That reason is complete. Trying to drag them into your next chapter would be like trying to fit into clothes from years ago. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. Time for something new has arrived. You're being called to a higher frequency, a frequency where mediocre connections can't survive, where surface conversations feel like torture, where energy vampires get exposed the moment approach happens, where your intuition is so sharp you can feel intentions before mouths open. This frequency isn't for everyone. Lonely sometimes, isolating at moments, but necessary. Because where you're going, taking everyone can't happen. The mission is too specific. The calling is too clear. The assignment is too important. God is doing something with your life that requires everything you have. Full attention, full energy, full commitment. Anything distracting you from that is being removed. Not because evil exists in those things, but because alignment with where you're headed doesn't exist. If you keep looking back, missing what's ahead will happen. If you keep trying to drag people forward who want to stay behind, delaying your own arrival will occur. If you keep explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand, wasting energy needed for what's coming will happen. So you went silent. You disappeared from spaces you used to occupy. People are confused. People are concerned. People are making up entire stories to fill the blanks. Perfect. Let talking happen. While gossiping continues, you're building. While guessing happens, you're growing. While watching occurs, you're winning. Your absence created mystery. Your silence created curiosity. Your transformation is creating jealousy. All of it is creating the exact energy shift you needed. Because now people see you differently. Taking you for granted can't happen anymore. Assuming you'll always be there isn't possible. Treating you any kind of way and expecting acceptance won't work. You've established something powerful through your absence. You've established that access to you is a privilege, not a right. That your presence is earned, not expected. That your energy is protected, not available to anyone who wants it. This shift changes everything moving forward. The ones who truly care are revealing themselves right now, reaching out with genuine intentions, not trying to extract information, not trying to guilt you, not making your transformation about themselves, just genuinely checking in and respecting whatever boundaries you set. Those are your people. Everyone else is noise. Everyone else is distraction. Everyone else failed to test awareness of didn't even exist. That's fine. You needed to know who was real and who was performing. Now you know. The clarity is perfect. The vision is clear. You know exactly who belongs in your next chapter and who doesn't. Your disappearance is also revealing who was using you for social currency, who kept you around because of what you added to image, who posted you when it benefited them but was nowhere when you needed support. These people are suddenly very interested in reconnecting now that doing well is obvious, now that something big is sensed as happening, now that your value is becoming obvious to everyone. But you see through it. You recognize the pattern. These are the same people who were too busy when invitations came, too distracted when you needed to talk, too wrapped up in own world to show up for you. Now wanting access again because opportunity is smelled, wanting to be associated with your success, wanting to ride the wave, refused help in building. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Watch how people who ignored you suddenly want to collaborate. How people who dismissed your ideas suddenly think you're brilliant. How people who were too important to respond to your messages suddenly have time for long conversations. The shift in energy isn't because you changed. It's because your stock is rising. Your value is becoming undeniable. Your light is becoming impossible to ignore. People who survive on borrowed shine are desperately trying to get close to your glow. Don't let them. Protect your space. Guard your energy. Remember who was there in the darkness. Remember who believed in you before obviousness arrived. Remember who showed up when there was nothing to gain. Those are the people who deserve access to your light. There's someone who's been working overtime trying to figure out your next move, thinking something big is being planned, sensing a major announcement is about to happen, feeling something exciting coming. Absolutely correct is what's happening. But finding out what it is through stalking will never happen. Figuring it out through social media won't occur. Guessing it by asking around proves impossible, because what you're building is being constructed in the spiritual realm first. Divine orchestration behind a veil vision can't see through. Heaven sent in ways natural eyes can't detect. No amount of detective work will uncover what God is doing for you behind the scenes. Finding out when everyone else finds out will happen. When you're ready to reveal it. When the timing is perfect. When the impact will be maximum. Some of the people wondering about you aren't people close connections existed with. Observers. People who watched you from a distance. People who never spoke to you directly but were always aware of your presence. People who noticed when you disappeared because your energy leaves a mark on every space you occupy. These people are curious because feeling your absence energetically happened. The room shifted when showing up stopped. The vibe changed, the dynamic altered. Your presence, even when trying to stand out wasn't happening, had an impact. Now that you're gone, a void exists. People feel it even if explaining it proves impossible. You're getting your money up. Finally. After struggling for so long, after working so hard for so little, after giving so much and receiving scraps, the tables are turning, the tide is shifting, the breakthrough is here, not just financial, spiritual, emotional, mental, relational. Every single area of your life is upgrading simultaneously, because you made one decision that changed your entire trajectory. You chose to protect your peace above everything else, above relationships, above obligations, above expectations, above what people thought you should do. You chose yourself. That choice activated something in the spiritual realm that's about to manifest in ways imagination can't even grasp yet. The people you walked away from are starting to realize what got lost. But too late is the reality. Too late for apologies. Too late for changed behavior. Too late for coming back acting right. You're not the same person who would have accepted that anyway. Evolving past the point where best effort would be enough already happened. You raised your standards so astronomically high that best is now your bare minimum. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. That's what happens when accepting less than deserved stops. That's what happens when realizing worth and refusing to negotiate it down for anyone. Some will try anyway. Reaching out will happen soon. Feeling it before it happens will occur. Your intuition will warn you in advance. Your spirit will alert you. You'll have a choice. Engage or keep moving. Respond or maintain silence. Give a chance or protect peace. The answer is already in your spirit. You already know what to do. Some doors close for a reason. Some chapters end on purpose. Some people exit your life to make room for better people, better opportunities, better energy, better everything. Don't go backwards trying to fix what God already removed. Don't reopen doors God already sealed shut. Don't question the pruning when you can see new growth everywhere you look. You're in a season of increase, abundance, overflow. Blessings so massive they make up for every loss. Opportunities so aligned they feel like destiny. Connections so genuine they restore your faith in humanity. Peace so deep it feels like heaven. None of this would be possible carrying dead weight. None of this would be accessible if availability to everyone still existed. None of this would have manifested if protecting your energy like your life depended on it hadn't happened. Because it did. Everything depended on you making the hard choice. You made it. Now watch what God does with someone who finally chose themselves. The anxiety you've been feeling at night is temporary. Just the energetic detox process. Old soul ties breaking. Old patterns dissolving. Old versions of yourself dying. Uncomfortable but necessary. Old versions of yourself dying. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly comfortably. Transformation requires death, rebirth, complete reconstruction. You're in that cocoon phase right now, hidden from the world, working in darkness, building something nobody can see yet. But when emergence happens, the difference is going to be shocking. Keep praying through this phase. Keep cleansing your space. Keep protecting your energy. Keep trusting the process even when discomfort exists. What's coming is worth every hard moment, every lonely night, every person you had to release. Some are using mutual connections as spies, asking casual questions that are anything but casual, fishing for information about where you're working, who you're seeing, what you're building. These mutual connections might not even realize being used for reconnaissance is happening. Normal conversations seem to be occurring in their minds, but you can feel the energy behind the questions. You can sense when asking on behalf of someone else is happening. Your intuition has become razor sharp during this time of isolation. Picking up on things you would have missed before is happening now. That's one of the gifts of this season. Heightened discernment, sharper instincts, clearer vision. Others are monitoring any digital trace you leave, every like, every comment, every rare moment you do engage online. Analyzing like detectives, trying to piece together your emotional state, your location, your schedule. Creepy would be the word if predictability wasn't so obvious. This is what happens when people lose control over someone thought to be figured out. Obsessive behavior emerges, desperate for any crumb of information, any sign of what you're up to, but you're giving nothing, because understanding something others don't is happening. Mystery creates power. Silence creates strength. Privacy creates protection. Some have even tried the guilt approach, sending messages through others about how worried concern exists, how just wanting to know you're okay is the only goal, how missing you and not understanding what happened is painful. Playing the victim when being the villain is the truth. This is manipulation at its finest. trying to make you feel bad for protecting yourself, trying to make your healing about comfort for others. Don't fall for it. Real concern doesn't require manipulation. Real care respects boundaries. Real love doesn't guilt you into breaking your peace. What's being felt isn't worry. It's withdrawal. Making you responsible for managing discomfort is being attempted. That's not your job anymore. Your breakthrough is directly connected to your breakaway. Your next level is on the other side of letting go. Your destiny is waiting for you to stop looking back. The moment you fully commit to moving forward, never turning back, never second-guessing, never entertaining old energies, everything accelerates. Doors fly open, money flows faster, opportunities multiply, the right people appear, divine timing clicks into place. Everything works because space was finally created for it. The path finally got cleared. You finally said yes to yourself and no to everything trying to block you. There's another layer to this that needs addressing. Some people aren't just wondering where you are physically, wondering where you are mentally is happening. How being so unbothered is possible, how moving on so completely happened, how cutting off without looking back occurred. Being used to people who can't let go is normal for them, who keep reopening closed chapters, who give endless second chances. But you're different. When done means done. When a door closes, staying closed is what happens. When walking away occurs, looking back doesn't. This confuses people who don't have that level of discipline, that level of commitment to own well-being, that level of respect for own boundaries. Being called cold is happening. Heartless, unforgiving. Let it. Those labels say more about the labelers than you. People who can't respect boundaries call you cold when enforcing them. People who benefited from your tolerance call you unforgiving when accepting disrespect stops. People who took advantage of your warmth call you heartless when letting draining stop. These aren't accurate descriptions of who you are. These are projections from people who lost access to something being exploited. Your warmth, your light, your energy, your resources. Now that the well is closed, anger exists. Let staying mad happen. Opinion of you is no longer your concern. Here's what's about to happen. When finally emerging occurs, when finally revealing what you've been building happens, when the silence breaks and the world sees what you've become, the shock is going to be massive. People are going to struggle to reconcile the old version of you with this new version. The one who was always available versus the one who's selective about time. The one who gave freely versus the one who knows worth. The one who tolerated disrespect versus the one who enforces boundaries like steel. The contrast is going to be jarring. Some people won't be able to handle it. There will be people who try to humble you, who try to remind you where you came from, who try to keep you small with nostalgia about who you used to be. Don't engage. You're not who you used to be. That's the whole point. That version of you was learning, growing, becoming who you are now. Owing anyone access to a version of yourself that no longer exists isn't happening. Owing anyone comfort in discomfort with your growth won't occur. Owing anyone an explanation for why evolving past who wanted you to stay isn't your responsibility. The people who are truly for you will celebrate this transformation. Seeing the strength it took to walk away will happen. The courage it took to choose yourself will be recognized. The discipline it took to stay hidden while building will be respected. The faith it took to trust the process when results couldn't be seen yet will be honored. These people will understand that your disappearance wasn't about them. It was about you protecting what God was building in you. Respect will exist. Honor will be given. Space to continue growing without making it about themselves will be provided. But the ones who lost access will tell a different narrative. Painting themselves as victims of your success will happen. Acting like abandonment occurred when really, you just stopped allowing draining. Claiming you changed for the worse when really, you just stopped accepting less than deserved. Let them tell their version. Let narrative twisting happen. Let themselves look like the wronged party. The truth doesn't need your defense. Your results will speak louder than their words ever could. Your peace will be more evident than their complaints. Your glow will be more obvious than their guilt trips. So keep going, chosen one. Keep growing, keep glowing, keep knowing you're exactly where you need to be. The people supposed to find you will find you at the right time. The opportunities meant for you will reach you at the perfect moment. The blessings with your name on them will locate you through any storm. Everyone else, everyone trying to figure out where you've been and what you're doing next, seeing it when the world sees it will happen. When readiness to be seen again arrives, when the transformation is complete, when the emergence is perfect, when the timing is divine. Until then, stay hidden, stay focused, stay protected, stay blessed. Because chosen one, your comeback is going to be so powerful, so undeniable, so magnificently orchestrated by forces understanding doesn't exist for that. Everyone who wondered where you went will finally see why leaving had to happen. You weren't disappearing. You were positioning. You weren't hiding. You were building. You weren't running away. You were running toward your destiny. Nothing, absolutely nothing, was ever going to stop you from reaching it. Still wondering where you've been is what's happening for them. But soon, very soon, seeing exactly what you've been building will occur. It's going to leave them speechless.